Punjabi Hari
Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari
Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari
Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayam Mudiraye.
Tato Jaya Mudiraye.
Mukam Karoti Vachalam Mungam Lingaya Degirim. Yakripatamaham Vande Shigurum Dinataranam. Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Today we're reading from first canto, 16th chapter, text number 16. Okay. Sanskrit's on the board. Let's see if we can do it a little bit. Saratya
Saratya
Parasada
Parasada
Sevana
Sevana
Shakya
Shakya
Dautya
Dautya
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya.
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya.
Hold on for a minute. Parasadana or parasada?
It's Parasada.
Parasada.
So there's no now.
No, no.
Sorry
Parasada.
guys. That's my own thing. Added my own stuff.
Virasana
Vyasana
Nugamana
Nugamana
Stavana
Stabana
Pranamam
Pranamam
Virasana Nugamana Stavana Pranamam
Virasanugamana Stabanatna
Stigdesu
Snigdeshu
Pandusu
Pandushu
Jagat
Jagat
Pranatim
Pranatim
Chavishnu
Chavishnor
Stigdesu Pandusu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnu
Snigdeshu Prandushu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnor
Bhaktim
Bhaktim
Karoti
Karoti
Nipatis
Nipatis
Sharanarabinde
Charanarabinde
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Virasananu Stavana Pranaman
Virasananungamana Stabana Pranamam
Stigdesu Pandusu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnu
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnur
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Virasananu Stavana Pranaman
Virasanungamana Stabana Pranamam
Stigdesu Pandusu Jagat Pranatyam Chavishnu
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnur
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Vilasananu Gamana Stavana Pramana.
Virasananu Gamana Stavana Pranana.
Sigde Subandhu Sujagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu.
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu.
Bhaktim Kroti Nipatis Charnaravinde.
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatish Charanarabinde.
Someone want to try it?
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya. Virasanu Gamana Stavana Pranamam. Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnur.
Sigdesu Bandhusu Jagatpranatim Cha Vishnu.
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde.
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde.
Come on. Go ahead. So that we can see. Sarataya Parasada Sevana Sankhya Dautyam.
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya.
Virasana Nugamana Stavana Pranam.
Virasanu Gamana Stavana Pranamam.
Snigdesu Pandusu Jagat Pratim Chana Vishnu.
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnur.
Bhaktim Karotina Pratischaranarabinde.
Bhaktim Karoti Nipatis Charanarabinde.
Anyone else want to try that? Here we go, word for word. Saratya,
Saratya,
acceptance of the post of a chariot driver.
acceptance of the post of a chariot driver.
Parasada,
Parasada,
acceptance of the presidency in the assembly.
acceptance of the presidency in the assembly.
Of the Rajasuya sacrifice.
Of the Rajasuya sacrifice.
Sevana,
Sevana,
engaging the mind.
engage the mind.
Constantly in the service of the Lord.
Constantly in the service of the Lord.
Sakya,
Sakya,
to think of the Lord as a friend.
to think of the Lord as a friend.
Dautya,
Dautya,
acceptance of the post of a messenger.
acceptance of the post of a messenger.
Vira asana,
Virasana,
acceptance of the post of a watchman.
acceptance of the post of a watchman.
With a drawn sword at night.
With a drawn sword at night.
Anugamana,
Anugama,
following in the footsteps.
following the footsteps.
Stavana,
Stavana,
offering of prayer.
offering of prayers.
Pranaman,
Pranamam,
offering obeisances.
offering obeisances.
Stigdesu,
Snigdeshu,
unto them
unto them
who are malleable
who are malleable
to the will of the Lord.
to the will of the Lord.
Pandusu,
Pandusu,
unto the sons of Pandu.
unto the sons of Pandu.
Jagat,
Jagat,
the universal.
the universal.
Pranatim,
Pranatim,
one who is obeyed.
one who is obeyed.
Cha,
Cha,
and Vishnu,
Vishnu,
of Vishnu. Bhaktim,
Bhaktim,
devotion.
devotion.
Karoti,
Karoti, does.
Nipati,
Nipati,
the king.
the king.
Charana Aravinde,
Charanarabinde,
unto his lotus feet.
unto his lotus feet.
Srila Prabhupada's translation.
Jai.
Please repeat it. Maharaj Parikshit
Maharaj Parikshit
heard that out of his causeless mercy
heard that out of his causeless mercy,
Lord Krishna,
Vishnu,
who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of service to the malleable sons of Pandu, by accepting posts, ranging from chariot driver to president, to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc., according to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant, and offering obeisances, like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada's divine purport. Lord Krishna is everything to the unalloyed devotees like the Pandavas. The Lord was for them the Supreme Lord, the spiritual master, the worshipable deity, the God, the chariot driver, the friend, the servant, the messenger, and everything they could conceive of. And thus the Lord also reciprocated the feelings of the Pandavas. Maharaj Parikshit is a pure devotee of the Lord, could appreciate the Lord's transcendental reciprocation of the feelings of his devotees. And thus, he himself also was overwhelmed with the feeling or with the dealings of the Lord. He himself was overwhelmed with the dealings of the Lord. Simply by appreciating the dealings of the Lord with his pure devotees, one can attain salvation. Simply by appreciating the dealings of the Lord with his pure devotees, one can attain salvation. The Lord's dealings with his devotees appear to be ordinary, human dealings, but one who knows them in truth becomes at once eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. The Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desired. I'll read that last sentence again. The Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desired. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, who has opened my eyes, although they were certainly shut by the darkness of ignorance. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within the world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet. So, I couldn't figure out, or I couldn't think in the little bit of time that I gave it to consider, I couldn't think of how the Lord's dealings with his pure devotees appear to be ordinary human dealings, because they don't always seem ordinary, they're quite extraordinary. But certainly they are times that they appear quite ordinary. Maybe in avatars like Leela avatars, such as I believe Lord Varaha is one, Lord Nrsimha, Matsya. They may not appear to be very ordinary. Of course, in Matsya's incarnation, he first appeared before the king of the small fish, so that may be very ordinary. But as he continues to grow, it certainly becomes superhuman. Kurma appears as a big turtle, so that's not very ordinary. And this is not even amongst human beings, it's amongst Devas and Asuras. So that's not ordinary. And neither is Varaha, neither is Lord Nrsimha. And Vamanadev, maybe when he first appeared, but again it's not amongst humans, it's amongst the Devas themselves. The mother of Indradev, Aditi. So maybe initially he appeared like Devas appear, fully grown as a Brahmin dwarf, and all the Devas come forth and offer him many gifts. So maybe amongst the Devas it's kind of a little ordinary that people come forth and offer gifts to the newly appeared person. But when he traveled to the arena of Bali Maharaj, maybe it was a little bit ordinary in the sense that Bali took him to be a Brahmin, a very effulgent Brahmin, dwarf Brahmin, young boy, and he offered him whatever he wanted. But then Vamana became super extraordinary. Parashuram, another Brahmin, but a Brahmin who also becomes extraordinary. And then Ramachandra. Now, here we are amongst human beings, and Ramachandra certainly didn't appear in an ordinary way. He appears from his mother, but only after she has taken the remnants of a grand sacrifice given by the sacrificial remnants given by the Devas themselves. So Ram appears, and perhaps his childhood pastimes, somewhat ordinary, doing the things that children do, but completely captivating his parents and everyone else to a much greater extent than children captivate parents, which is ordinary, but it's amazing because it's just a baby, but because it's their baby or some beautiful baby, human beings become captivated by young ones, just as other mammals do. And even reptiles may, show some affection, for their babies. So that's not extraordinary, but certainly Ramachandra's childhood pastimes must have extraordinarily captivated his parents. To the extent that his father did not want him to lead with a very exalted personality. Something like if a great scholar came to your home, if you were a prominent enough person, if such a powerful, universal scholar came to your house and said, I would like you to have your son come with me on a retreat. I had to do something at my ashram, and I would like to train him and teach him. I mean, most parents for a son, as old as Ram was at that time, I think he was in his young teens, they would be, extremely proud and ready to, let their son go with this great person. Dasara loved his son so much he was, it really disturbed him. And he only did it out of duty. In fact, he even turned down the sage. But the sage became upset, and his royal priest, who was one of the sons of Brahma himself, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the sister Muni, is the royal priest of King Dasara. He persuaded him that this is in the best interest of Lord Ramachandra, in the best interest of Dasara, and in the best interest of the whole kingdom, and he should make this sacrifice. And so then he did it. So, in that way, the dealings between father and son were quite extraordinary. And there may have been times in these, lengthy pastimes that go on moment by moment, minute by minute, hour by hour, and day by day, week by week, month by month, and year by year. There are certainly times where they appear ordinary, but certainly there are those times, many times, that they are certainly extraordinary. Then after Ram, also in our human society, then we get Balaram and Krishna, certainly extremely extraordinary pastimes, but at times appearing to be ordinary. Although extraordinary in the sense that Krishna captivated the residents of Vrindavan, all of his aunts and uncles, all of the people who resided there, loved Krishna even more than their own children. So that's extraordinary that one child can be loved so much. We may see some hero in a small town, even a big city, whom all the people, really love and appreciate, but maybe not as much as their own son. They may not even have that intimate of a relationship with him. They just may know of him and be extremely proud, because after all, he is the town hero. But, Krishna was actually intrigued the interest and the love of every resident of Vrindavan for or more than their own children. So that's extraordinary. And even all the ladies of Mathura, couldn't take their eyes off of the prince. He was the center of their attention. So that is extraordinary, that every single lady, is completely attracted. And, in this material world, we all have our critics. So a person may be, a very great person, but there's always those who don't like them for whatever reason. And, they may voice their opinion. Except in a dictatorship where it becomes criminal to do so and fearful, that's quite common. But, Krishna, it wasn't like that. Now on the whole earth, there was certainly, he had his people who actually acted as his enemies, who were born, who appeared here to do so. Because in Vaikuntha, or his spiritual realm, there's no person like that. Everyone loves Krishna. So to have an enemy, Krishna has to come to the material world. And many times he has to send his own devotees so he can, powerful devotees, so he can have a powerful enemy. Otherwise, the soul is already conditioned in this world, and generally that means that they're not going to have enough prowess to actually compete with Krishna, because they're covered over by Krishna's inferior energy. And that makes it too easy for Krishna in dealing with them. So he has to send some powerful devotee from the spiritual realm who is empowered with extraordinary powers, to play as his enemy. Otherwise, there's not enough competition for him, So again, not extraordinary, not so many ordinary things, but a lot of extraordinary things. Now the last incarnation, another one is Buddha. Buddha may have appeared ordinary, but his parents loved him so much that they attempted to not expose him to any sort of misery. So, that's a little extraordinary that a child is kept aloof from birth and death, old age and disease. They don't see any ill health. Ill health is not allowed to be found in the presence of the prince. People can't have a cold, they can't have the flu, they can't be diseased or invalid or crippled. None of these things could the prince see. He couldn't see old people. He had to see young people. Everything always had to appear very grand and fresh and wonderful. And the inevitable fate in this material world was simply not exposed to him. That's pretty extraordinary that parents could love a child like that. And even marry him, still in that frame of mind, that it's almost like the spiritual world, there's no need for sorting after answers concerning the complexities of life, because there were none. In his vision, it was kept a secret. But when he finds out about it, it changes his whole thought pattern. And he becomes an extraordinary sage who is an incarnation of God, and who gives teachings that influence humanity to stop misusing Vedic injunctions to perform animal sacrifices. So even Buddha, not really ordinary in so many ways, not ordinary. And the last incarnation, Kalki, he appears in an extraordinary time where, the earth is full of plunderers and barbarians who are, fighting for control, every day. Every day it's like a warlike state, a warlike time, because everything's very clannish and everybody's completely fighting for power and control, and devotees are completely abused, and they're not appreciated. They're considered fair game to kill. And Kalki takes his birth and slays all of these completely corrupt persons who are in the deepest darkness of the tamasic mode of nature. And he ushers in the dawn of the new age of goodness, where all of a sudden life becomes very good and full of longevity and energy and health and well-being and prosperity in human society. So in that sense, he's certainly not an ordinary incarnation. And the things, we hear how Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna showed his universal form, Arjuna became embarrassed and felt offensive that he had offended Krishna, because many times he had acted quite ordinarily with him. He sat on the bed, they had discussions, they were cousin brothers, they, felt a great rapport between each other. They would go hunting together, Krishna married princes in his presence, and even intrigued Arjuna to marry his sister. They did so many things together like that, and Arjuna was embarrassed by the way he treated him. He treated him as an equal friend, his most dear friend, but on par with himself. That they were like the dynamic duo. No one could defeat them. They were equal in the sense that they were that close. Arjuna himself was extraordinary, and so was Krishna. But after showing the universal form, despite knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just to see such an exhibit of opulence wherein everything in the universe is within the form of the Lord, Arjuna became afraid. He could see, unlimited heads and eyes and mouths and flames coming from many mouths and all people entering into those mouths. And when he asked Krishna, "Who are you?" Krishna says, "Kam I am, and I have come to devour and develop all beings." So, naturally, Arjuna becomes full of awe and veneration, and the rasa or the mellow of friendship disappears. And, and he falls down at Krishna's feet and asked him to please make this form unmanifest and return to his original form. And Krishna does that for him. Hare Krishna. So it's a wonderful thing to become the Lord's devotee. People are so many things in our world. They're genuinely consumed with their dharma or occupation, or they're consumed with some corrupt type of occupation where they don't have any beneficial service to human society, but they're like a rogue or a thief. There's many of them in human society that simply perform activities for their welfare that are detrimental to society as a whole. Just age of Kali, where you have so many adharmic type of activities going on. And hardly any of these people have a deep relationship with the Lord. Some may be religious, even amongst the corrupt ones. The mafia people often went to church. There's, Hindu people who worship various devas, who, are part of gangs that, make a living doing some sort of corrupt activity, who actually oppose the government in the sense that they're doing something that is detrimental to the government. So in that way, they're opposed it, although they may take advantage of it in many ways what the government has to offer, especially protection from foreign powers. So it's all over the world like that. And people, they don't have a deep relationship with God or the absolute truth, one deep understanding of themselves. People are pretty much under the influence of the external potency of the Lord. And consequently, even though they are pure spiritual beings, they identify so closely with the material body, they cannot separate themselves from it, neither in their vision, their external vision, and nor in their mental thoughts, to consider themselves as eternal spiritual beings, some sort of anti-material substance. They just don't, generally speaking, feel like it, and they don't think like it. And they generally don't use their willpower to want to achieve their spiritual existence again. Usually they're simply using their willpower to achieve more and more types of material sense gratification. So in that way, the soul is completely in darkness because he's entrapped by his body. And whatever happens to the body happens to him or her. And so therefore they're constantly feeling pain or some type of grief or lamentation. And these are not the qualities of broad-minded people, of spiritually advanced people. In fact, Krishna himself told that to Arjuna. Now, Arjuna, amongst us common people, we could certainly understand his predicament of having to fight a fratricidal war against loved ones, people very dear to him. Not necessarily just the cousins who have caused him much pain, at least the oldest one, the second oldest one. Some of them had some friendly relationships. There were 100 of them. But, here there was also his teacher and his grandfather who was very dear. And it was his father's uncle, his father's brother's sons. He didn't want to upset his father in any way. He didn't want to upset his uncle. Although his father had passed on, still it was, his father's brother was there. And his father's brother, took him in. He didn't cast them away when they came after their father died. I mean, he could have said, no, go away. My children are going to take over this kingdom. You guys are just going to be a disturbance. Better you go back and live amongst the sages like your father has raised you. You can live. Everyone in my kingdom is protected, but here you're just going to be a disturbance. No, he let them come. And even accepted that they had some rights in the kingdom. He was still listening to the grandsire of the kingdom, Father Bhishma. And from there, the whole intrigue of the Mahabharata developed. So I had to think about why I actually said that in relationship to what I was talking about before. Kind of lost track of that. Anyhow, the bodily conception of life is really all pervasive, and people's lack of knowledge or poor fund of knowledge of God is very pervasive, to the extent that many people in the world think of the ultimate truth as being void or something impersonal, and that there isn't even a personal Lord with a personal abode, with personal relations, with his personal devotees. Many people don't even consider that. So to be able to awaken that again in humanity, to inspire that again in the hearts of humanity, is the greatest present, or the greatest service that one can do for Krishna himself. And therefore, our Srila Prabhupada was so dear to Krishna, so dear to Lord Chaitanya, because he was reawakening this personal knowledge about Krishna. He was reviving people's Krishna consciousness and helping them to, again, realize that they have a personal relationship with the eternal truth, who is an eternal person, and that our personhood is in relationship with him. And we exist as eternal people also, eternal persons. And, this body is just an instrument for realizing that. And when we do, then, we can achieve it all. Prabhupada says just by appreciating the exchanges that Krishna has with his pure devotees, we achieve salvation. So, therefore, Prabhupada's books, such as Srimad Bhagavatam, which was so dear to Lord Chaitanya, are most valuable in the world, because where else will people of the world read about, hear about the relationships between the Lord and his pure devotees? Only in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in the books that describe the pastimes of Krishna's appearance as Lord Chaitanya, we hear about the relationships of so many devotees with the Lord and how they exchanged love with one another, just like we were speaking about Krishna and Arjuna. So just appreciating, Prabhupada says, just appreciating these loving exchanges between the Lord and his devotees, one attains salvation. In a few sentences later, he says something. He says, just by knowing the truth about how the Lord's ordinary dealings with his dealings with his devotees, which appear to be ordinary human dealings, just by knowing the truth about them, one becomes eligible to go back home to Godhead. So, I mean, this is perfect for us who are creatures in this world today that, are forced to undergo, generally speaking, no less than 12 years of academic training involving, reading, writing, and mathematics, and, various other social types of studies, and music and whatnot. At least 12 years. So for us to just gain an academic understanding, theoretical understanding of how the Supreme Lord exchanges loving relationships with his devotee is something within our capacity. It doesn't require a tremendous amount of austerity or scholarship. No, it doesn't require these things. We don't have to learn Sanskrit to do that, because Prabhupada has put it into our language. We can at least theoretically understand this. And by doing so, Prabhupada even said, just reading the Krishna book, one will become a devotee. But, generally speaking, before one becomes a devotee, he develops some theoretical understanding. But when that happens, then here Prabhupada is saying one's salvation is guaranteed. Because after all, then we understand Krishna. And again, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says one who understands Krishna, becomes free from the cycle of birth and death. I believe the 4th chapter, verse 9. Just by understanding Krishna. I don't think the word understanding is used, probably the word know. Yajama kam lachane divyam evam yodeti tattvatah, to know in truth. Tyaktva deyam punajanman, naiti mameti soajuna. They don't have to take birth again if they understand Janma, Krishna's birth, and Karma, Krishna's pastimes, or Chame Divyam, their Divyam, their divine. Yo evam yaveti tattvatah, one who understands this in truth. They don't have to take birth again. These are things that are very much within our capacity. And Prabhupada is giving it to the whole world. And we get a chance to be malleable for Prabhupada, just like the Pandavas were malleable for Krishna. Prabhupada is stressing that word. He uses that in the translation, and he uses it again in the purport. This word malleable. That means like if you take thin pieces of metal, you can hammer them together, so you can be molded. So according to the will of God, the Pandavas could be molded. And because they were malleable to the Lord's will, then the Lord made them his instruments. And he even played a role with his instruments, to the extent of doing things like becoming a chariot driver, a watchman. He also became the guru of Arjuna, his well as his best friend. So this was their closeness. So in the same way, Prabhupada's disciples became malleable for him to utilize them. To go out and sell books. They may not have been booksellers. People became book editors, even though they didn't have training in editing. Initially, they hadn't went to college for it. Some people became scholastic and matter of understanding things like evolution in terms of the Vedas and in terms of what is taught in archaeology, even though they had never studied that academically, such as Dhruta Karma. He didn't study that before becoming a devotee, but he saw it was a big topic that Prabhupada wanted to discuss amongst people. So he became very articulate on that subject matter and speaks all over the globe concerning it. So devotees became malleable in the hands of Prabhupada to please him, to go out and open temples, to persuade people in the matter of Krishna consciousness, to chant Hare Krishna and allow everyone to hear the holy names of God. People became cooks. They may not have wanted to become a cook. My wife never wanted to become a cook. She just cooked to run a business, a restaurant business, and she couldn't find no one else that she could appreciate their cooking enough to cook for something that she was selling. But that's her Shakti. She can sell whatever she wants to sell, but she doesn't like to sell things she doesn't like. So if she likes something, she can sell. One time on her birthday, I think her 40th birthday, she went out and distributed 40 Bhagavad Gitas, hardback Bhagavad Gitas, because she can sell. She has that certain Shakti. People are born with a certain nature, So she just has a nature that she can sell things that she wants to sell. So she couldn't find a cook that met her expectations, because after all she was going to be selling it, not anyone else. So she cooked it herself, even though she didn't necessarily want to be a cook. Speak of the book.
So Prabhuji, in the text, initially I was preparing for this text, and in the translation it says that Krishna became the night watchman for the Pandavas.
I couldn't remember that past time.
So I was trying to find out. I could not find anywhere.
Battle of Kurukshetra, there could have been a town. But Krishna had to stand guard. Well, president was the president of the Rajasuya sacrifice.
Yeah. Okay.
They wanted the most exalted person to be worshipped first. And so remember, there was some contention with Sisupal, Krishna's cousin, who from the time of his appearance was meant to always criticize Krishna, find fault with Krishna. He was just born to be Krishna's adversary, mainly through words, someone who always spoke ill about him, just like we see in our partisan politics. One side always speaks ill about the other side. They cannot attribute much good to the other side. And therefore we have a group of people from the military who are working to elect people who have been in the military, because in the military, although people may have different ties to different political parties, they all have to work very closely together in order to get jobs done. So there's less people in the United States Congress and Senate from the military as there's ever been in the history of the nation. So their military group of people who are working together to elect military people who have been through the military into Congress and the Senate, with a hope that they can actually learn to work together. But Sisupal could never work with Krishna. He always spoke ill about Krishna, even though they were cousins. He always spoke, Krishna became. And then when Krishna, he made some arrangement for the marriage, Was it? Oh, yeah. No, somebody else made an arrangement.
Shishupal once married Rukmini.
Yeah, so Rukmini's brother made the arrangement, because Rukmini didn't want to marry Sisupal. But her brother, even over the objection of his father, made an arrangement for Sisupal to marry Rukmini. And, to make matters worse than when Krishna comes and takes away Rukmini. So, it was really downhill from then on, It was really downhill after that. So anyway, he disturbed the Rajasuya a little bit, but still Krishna was made president, and Sisupal lost his life. But the watchman, I can only think of maybe during the Barrow Crusade or something took place like that, where Krishna stood as a watchman. But it could have been, some other time also. Okay, so that's all we have time for today. Any other comments or questions?
No.
Yeah, Mother Krishna.
When you talk about Arjuna and he was seeing his universal form of the Lord, how he couldn't keep his friendship with Krishna, he was with awe and reverence.
Mm-hmm.
And what came to my mind was with Mother Yasoda in the vision, when he asked Krishna to open his mouth because his cow friends in Balaram were telling him, oh, you're eating dirt, and they complained to Mother Yasoda like that. So when Mother Yasoda opened his mouth, she saw this big vision of the universal form. Immediately, she couldn't keep her position as a mother. She was in awe and reverence and questioning the whole thing as Krishna's, being personality God. Then immediately Krishna, through the yoga, internal potency, brought back Mother Yasoda as the mother, because in order the relationship is both. Krishna wants to see his mother like that, so he can, do his childhood pastimes.
Yeah, and she has to consider him as her child.
Yeah. And the other thing I heard, and I did hear that when you're talking about Krishna coming with those things where he establishes the sensible religion, protective religion, and annihilate those things. What I was remembering was from this following Srila Prabhupada, that he comes to keep his body fit. I heard Prabhupada say that, Krishna.
Trying to keep his body fit. I guess you have to have a pretty fit body to do those things. Otherwise you can see it's very difficult for anyone who tries to stop corruption. Usually they get taken out, But the forces of darkness are so powerful. It takes, the protection of the Lord for anyone to be successful in that matter. So on Sunday we have a feast that's being sponsored on behalf of one lady from the same city as Prabhupada, from Calcutta, came to America in the early 90s and became a very prominent professor at Southern University in Baton Rouge, which is one of the historic black colleges and universities in the nation. And she died at a young age, only 54, from cancer. And they had a memorial ceremony yesterday at Southern University for her. And they're going to do a worship. They're sponsoring a worship ceremony here on Sunday. So the Sunday Feast program will be offered on her behalf, and we'll do what is commonly known in our temples as a shred ceremony, whereby we will offer the Mahaprasadam that's offered to Radha Krishna Buddha to a picture of her. And then we'll read some Bhagavad Gita and some story from the Gita Mahatmya that will probably say some words about her. She was actually someone who really helped the university before her and her professor. Another person from Bengal, I'm not sure if he was from Calcutta, his name is Madan Kundu. He became her professor, and she actually changed career. In India, she had her bachelor's degree in physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and went on to earn a master's of professional accounting at Southern University. But she became intrigued with the work of Dr. Kundu, Madan Kundu, who is the chair of the rehabilitation department at Southern University. She became intrigued to help people by his dealings. That he was called to help this Indian student that had just come to Baton Rouge to find a place to live, and she considered the place that he had found to be subpar compared to where she was living. Her family was fairly well-to-do. Her father was an engineer. So when she told that to him, he said, "Do you know how many people in this world don't have this opportunity, and you consider this subpar? You're just a college student here." And she went on to understand that the work that he was doing was meant to help people, especially in minority groups, that don't have certain advantages. People who have disabilities and need rehabilitation, and they're in minority groups, and they just don't have the same access to facilities as people who have more money or better insurance. So, although Dr. Kundu forced her to finish her degree in accounting and wouldn't allow her to switch majors like that, because her parents, expected her to be, doing this and not to be switching to a profession that really won't pay as much. And it's, just meant to help people who have disabilities in this world. So, he forced her to continue to finish that master's degree, and then still would present to her, would test her about, why does she want to enter into this type of occupation. And she would challenge, and eventually he accepted, and she went on to earn a master's there at Southern and then a PhD at the University of Illinois, and came back, was hired back there in 1992, and wrote over $31 million of grants for the rehabilitation department there at Southern University, and was an excellent teacher and researcher. So they'll be sponsoring the Sunday feast for her on Sunday. Her mom would be there. The mother has had to witness her husband leave maybe 13 years ago, but I think in maybe 2011, something like that. Myself and Prabhu did the funeral ceremony for him. And now her only child is left, leaving her alone in this part of the world, other than her friendship with Dr. Kundu. How do they pronounce
Kundu?
The last name? This lady's last name is Dutta, is the way I would pronounce it. D-U-T-T-A.
Datta.
Huh?
Datta.
Datta?
Yeah, in Bengal it's Datta. Like, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's name was Kedarnath Datta. Same last name.
Datta. So
Yeah.
they say Datta, not Dutta. Well, how come they say the Jaladutta?
Jaladuta is Jaladuta.
Why? Aren't they spelled the same?
I think this Datta is...
Means something different than messenger?
Yeah, I don't know the meaning of Datta.
So it's the same spelling, but perhaps different meanings.
Yeah.
They
No,
always thought her name was Duta. Yeah.
No, in Bengali it is written differently, but in English it's same. So.
Okay, Data. Yeah, because they were pronouncing it Data yesterday, and I thought maybe it was just their Western pronunciation. But then somebody went on to explain that many times, we don't know how to pronounce people's names who are foreigners, and it's good that we learn that, and that's they did with Dr. And I was still thinking, oh, they're pronouncing it right, and I thought they were pronouncing it wrong. Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. So maybe you can tell Tamal and Naratan that we have to actually cook a feast for this Bengali lady, who has left us, and her mom is coming, and Dr. Kundu is coming, and they'll be bringing some people, at least there'll be probably about 7 people in the group. And, so we're going to make a nice feast on their behalf. And
tomorrow is Lord Balaram.
Lord Balaram's appearance
Fasting
tomorrow.
till noon, and then the evening program starts at 5 p.m. with Abhishek, the bathing ceremony of the Guru Beauty.
Anything else before we take off? Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai.